was I going to say? So the fixtures that stuck out to me. Well, see, the thing is, like, I'm always a little bit. The fourth game of the season is always a little bit.
Brentford and Arsenal. Arsenal just couldn't live with the
That
crowd.
I mean, that's a banana skin considering like
It's
who.
London. You
Yeah,
forget that Brentford is London, and it's London derby.
yeah.
Like, you have to have your backup going in. You have to be ready for
You got to be
put up a battle.
on your
Yeah,
marks,
yeah,
and
and your battle. But
they were missing a few
your man,
players.
yes, they were. But like your man Brentford coach did his homework on Arsenal at set pieces. I mean, the throwing coach, like they're working on set pieces. And for the second goal, to let a ball like that bounce in the box,
That was horrendous. That was it. It
it's one
was.
of the worst defending you'd see at that level. You don't let a ball bounce, you clear it. Like, you can let it bounce, and then to miss it, all of them to
How did the
miss it.
keeper not command that? He was
Leno
very
was,
weak.
no, he was held. See him getting held.
Then it should have been a free out then.
Yeah, but that's it wasn't though. Like, it was a bit of football cleverness.
Okay. Well, then he still needs to be more aggressive. Then he's a bleeding goalkeeper. He can use his arms.
I know, but he was actually blocked off. You could see him getting blocked off and held, and you could see like there was no stewards inquiry into it. But let the ball bounce. Come on. Like, I mean, the ball shouldn't have bounced at all. You don't never let a ball
Who
bounce.
was? Oh, Ben White.
He was awful. He was awful.
Again, I'm not going to judge. On the fourth
Yeah,
game.
you can't. Get him on Partey was in there, and they pay him a wedge to protect the back four, and
Yeah, and they're
he was.
Ian. I know that Aubameyang is probably going to go, but they're still missing him, Partey,
Like I said,
Lacazette. No, they're big players for Arsenal.
Kid Smith Rowe did look good.
He's
Dribbling from.
he's a good player as well. But the thing is, though,
Imagine though, Villa made a bid for him, and he's like one of Arsenal's gems, and
we're never going to
I
get him.
don't
We're
I
never
don't
going to
know.
get him.
We don't know. Like, it shows that it was actually thought about. That it took him a while to
If you
scout
sell one of your
young
star
stars.
young flies, that's it, man.
Barcelona, we have ended up having to deal with Pedri.
Yeah, but if you're selling to an up and coming team in your own league,
Yeah, you're basically
like
passing the torch.
Unless you don't rate him, but that's bonkers to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he played well for Arsenal. Hard to say who else did. Tierney did. Tierney was good.
Tierney's a good player.
Yeah, he was good.
He's a good player.
Murray and Ben White looked like they never saw each other before, and they were asked to play together. I think Arteta isn't the man for the job, really. They kind of did
well,
thinking.
If it's the same at the end of the season, he'll be gone. This is
thinking he could be someone, but like you're thinking that we're getting someone that It never seems to have his teams never seem to have the free flow up front that you need with them, with the talent that he has.
But the thing was,
quicker with the ball.
Any Arsenal supporter I spoke to about this game with the players we were missing, they weren't feeling confident at all.
Yeah, missing Saka and all them. But yeah, it didn't seem a weak Arsenal side though.
The scenes at the full time whistle are great though.
Yeah, great, because it was their first time, and it's new stadium and all that, and new stadium and all that. Like they and the fans back in the stadium, brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine like growing up all your life, there's guys in their 50s there never.
Yeah, and honestly, like this I think this the second year in that stadium. I think the new stadium. And they were supposed to get up last year, and they bottled it in the playoffs last year. They were supposed to get up then. Yeah. So I think this is like 1957 was the last time they were up or something like that.
Yeah,
well, like it's got to be
crazy.
Look, adds another London derby to the mix, like, and then you got like West Ham, who are probably coming up and trying to stay there.
West Ham looked really bleeding good yesterday.
Yeah,
they did.
Newcastle. Why was that man Lascelles not playing for Newcastle? He was dropped.
No idea. But geez, bro, I mean,
I'll
tip my cap to West Ham. They're a real threat. As soon as they went ahead, I'm like, they're going to hammer these now. They're lethal on the break. Like things are
your man Antonio was good on it.
Very good. He can't stay fit though.
When he switched on, he was like some teams you can feel like you can turn up like Pele.
Yeah.
Some days he could just turn up and he's like Pele,
And
but
when he
some days,
shows up, he's legit, like. But
yeah,
doing it every week is another bleeding story, you know. But he can't.
yeah,
But his issue seems to be he gets injured a lot.
yeah. He gets a knock and he's out for a while, and
Yeah,
then rinse and repeat.
yeah.
Yeah. I watch United, and I watched then on Saturday. I watch United and Leeds, and once United went ahead, it was
Was it? I think.
over.
Yeah, Leeds play a certain way, but you have to go ahead
Yeah,
against them. That's the thing, you know.
but
The-
Leeds were coming good, and in the last year they were making comebacks and shit. But
I think. I did. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of
they didn't press United's
our
midfield. Didn't
our.
press United midfield too.
Yeah,
And
but
Calvin Phillips was not ready to play, so maybe like he's the main midfielder. Um,
But again, it was the first game back at home. Yeah, first game back at home is huge. I mean, if Man United players were not up for this, there's something
I
wrong
didn't,
with them.
I didn't seem like that. Um,
Yeah,
I
but they're
just
also
seemed that
playing
late.
Leeds, and Leeds go for it. In fairness to Leeds, I mean, if you were pumped up over a player looking forward to the
The
game, full
funny, the
on,
funny thing was, I went on 1-0
yeah.
second half, and Lemar were goal by a man Ailey, and like went to 1-0, and the game was there for Leeds to go on and grab a hold of, and they went too gung ho, and they got picked off.
So they never learned the
And
lesson. Didn't the exact same thing happen
yeah,
last
but
year against United? United, like if you if they're fast, you know what I mean. So if you're gonna be a little gung ho against United, naively that is, they're gonna
yeah,
cut you
yeah,
open.
yeah, they should have just said like, okay, we'll take a chill pill here for and see where the game maps out.
But the thing is, like,
But
Leeds are not
but you
built
have
that
you
way.
have you have to press Pogba. You can't just leave him to do what he wants. You have to get like seeing the other teams play, and the minute just press Pogba, he just doesn't want to know. You have to get like your man McTominay and Fred and Pogba. It's not the best midfield in the fucking world.
I like McTominay. I think he's a good player.
He's a centre half. He's a centre half.
No, I think he's a holding midfielder.
I think he's a centre half. He looks clunky now midfield. He played for Scotland as a centre half in Euros, and he looked good. He came out like he's a ball playing centre half. I think it's a fucking
Well,
mistake. I'm not playing. He's so tall now. He can play centre half.
yeah,
Looks a
yeah.
ball to me.
I
He looks
like
a
him. I
ball.
think he's a good player.
To me, he looks a ball playing centre half. Like
Mm,
someone who can pick the ball out from the back.
yeah,
You know?
but again, that would have been a banana skin a few games into the season. You know, when the dust settles, players are getting their sharpness up, and maybe you need it again. You need to get your home game in first game. So I get bleeding. You always want your team to be at home.
Yeah. But Chelsea were home then in the next game, and that was just a goal for class. It was ridiculous.
Chelsea.
Hard to watch. It was that. They just looked.
Yeah, but Palace look like they're in a weird spot now.
Palace, like, Palace have like 12 players left or something,
Yeah.
and they
How
like
the hell
new
that
players
happened,
they
man?
brought in.
They
It's
look like they
bad,
could be
bad
relegated.
management, isn't
I think if
it? I
they
don't know.
don't rebuild this and get relegated, I think they're done. I think that's it. They're gonna go in the
I think look
wilderness.
I think they'll grab about 5 players from anywhere on loans and
The- I tell you what,
Bosman.
Palace are, in my opinion, and I'm probably way out of out of line right now. But if I was a Palace fan, this is what they seem to have going for them. If you live in London and you're your kid or whatever, great at football, you're like, where's he going to get a game? Where's he going to game? You all these Premiership teams around you might fancy going to Palace first because you're like, as a stepping stone. Do you know what I mean? And this is, I'm sure maybe Palace already do that to scout all these cool kids. Because the cool kid, if that's your kid, you're like, oh, he's not going to get a game at bleeding Chelsea. You might get it, maybe it's a selling point if you're a scout for Palace. Say, listen, you
Yeah,
come with us, learn your trades. You might get
yeah.
professional contracts. Big deal, man, Get your foot in the door.
I'm going to the big one. That town.
Oh, okay. City look really undercooked. They don't look fit at all. I know that preseason was a little bit over the shop, but
Yeah,
they looked fucking sloppy and over the fucking over that 15-20 minute opening. You're like, oh, they're well on it, and then they just kind of, for me, ran into a brick wall and ran out of ideas.
yeah. I get
Predictable.
it's hard. It's hard to have a go with City about anything because you end up looking churlish. Because you're going like, oh, they were bad. They're the best. Like probably yeah, the one of the top two teams in the league are
Yeah,
keeping the
because
ball.
the way they
Notorious.
play ball, it's very fine margins. Because if they score one or two of the chances, then it could be 6-0. The fine margins are you don't score that, then they kind of get predictable, and over the patterns of play, over the duration, over time within the game, the
But they
opposing
they do.
team can easily manage them, or easier.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they have a 20-minute. Sometimes they have a 20-minute window where they just want to tour you out and put you all over the place and see break your shape. And if your shape stays together and you manage to, you know, see that the ball. The one thing they do is they try and isolate the fullback and get that triangle in the inside channel of the centre back and the fullback. They always aim for there. If you watch them, they always want a man on the overlap and a pullback, and then the inside left player will play it in behind the fullback and want the whole back four turning, and then it's a tap in across the 6 yard box. That's the way they play the whole time. And against Spurs, it became kind of predictable. Tanganga, yeah. Jesus, it's hard. It's a hard one because it doesn't. When you see his name, you're like, oh,
I think he's
I think
English.
there's a Z in there. He is, yeah. Yeah. And but yeah, they were. He did great, like in Grealish. He didn't stood up to him, that way.
Yeah.
Then yeah, Grealish just started throwing himself to the ground a lot.
Oh,
Like,
the last minute of the game, your man takes a dive and Grealish going mad at him, and I was shocked that Martin Taylor going. Oh, it's a bit like the copper calling or the kettle calling the
oh,
fucking the pot black or whatever. It's like
the pot calling the kettle black.
yeah,
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 or
yeah. I think I think the refs are going to cop on to Grealish now because he's going to have too much of a profile. They're going to be watching him because all the other coaches are going to be like, oh yeah, Grealish diving. They did all the mind games bullshit and the press conferences. It's going to happen. He
yeah,
drops to the floor every bleeding. It's like that's the first thing he's looking for. Fucking
yeah. No,
brilliant.
when he end up with like into the fucking fact that when it's him and bleeding, what you call it, Sterling on the pitch, it's like watching Des Kelly carpet. They're just rolling around the floor all day.
It's brutal because you know that it's in any foreigner they'll bleed and cream them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah. Them two get away with it. Also when De Bruyne came on, they did look much better.
Although that central defender off Spurs, man, two creaming tackles on De Bruyne.
Romero,
Oh,
yeah. Edison was very poor for.
I
Like,
I think the defender like he blocked his angle or something.
yeah, still, that's if it's coming across, you cut it out. You make the call. I don't understand it. Like, I mean,
Son of some player, man. It's shocking
he's
how
you know,
no one went
he's a
in for
one
him.
he's a one yeah he's a one man front line. I think they pay him an awful lot to stay there. Also, your man Bergwijn should have put that money in, make it 2-0.
Oh yeah,
Fuck's
totally.
sake. I think Sterling, Bernardo Silva didn't come off the bench.
Yeah,
Gabriel
who's getting
Jesus,
dropped?
Bernardo
Because De
Silva.
Bruyne was on the bench, remember? So who's coming off
Yeah,
that field? Mahrez straight off the bat, not getting a game.
no. Centre midfield, centre forward though. Who's getting dropped? Sterling. You Grealish, Kane, and Mahrez. I think Mahrez is better than Sterling. So
I think so. Well, I think Mahrez
I think
is fucking
Sterling's just plateaued and he looks good for England. So, but
doesn't
I think Mahrez got a
it
match
doesn't look
winner in
good
him.
for England for me. It's just fucking
Yeah, they have Foden. Don't forget they have Foden.
Foden has come back. Foden's a better player than Sterling,
Yeah.
I
So
think.
he started kind of holding, dribbling, kind of different option, different type of forward.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like that's who they brought De Bruyne, Grealish, one other Foden and Mahrez behind Kane
yeah.
and try and but I don't know, like if they start playing that rondo stuff, Kane just be standing there waiting for the ball, that way rather than getting the ball played into him. The handy thing about
Yeah.
Guerrero always played on the snaps. So when something snapped and it came back from the snatch, he never snatched that. He just buried it.
Yeah, Aguero
Yeah,
was some player. Jesus, fairness from.
yeah. Well, that's the snippet tonight was that Mbappe kind of wants out of PSG, but they won't let him go.
Does he not want?
Real,
Does he Real Madrid?
Real Madrid. He wants to go to Real Madrid. And the rumor was that Paris Saint-Germain were going to bring in Ronaldo to replace him.
Really? Jesus Christ, man! Where are they getting this money to pay all these wages?
I said, man runs the fucking FFP. Don't give a fuck.
What do you
Man's the
think? The
chairman of
what do you think
the
of the rumors? I think they're having a talk, the governing bodies this month, sometime about a wage cap,
Yeah, but
like over here, and
it's
you
like
pay a
it's
tax.
like the base, but it's like the baseball one. You pay the tax into the fucking. You
If
go over
if
it,
you
you
go
pay a
over,
tax.
so the rest of the teams get a cut of that.
Yeah, but that's can't see that working out. baseball
What,
way of
what,
doing it, where
but no, but the
made
thing
the
is though,
Made the Yankees richer.
but the thing is, where's the line? Where does it stop? You know what I mean? City put a bid in for a player for $1 billion. Where does it stop?